You're destroying yourself and you don't even know it. Every single day, you perform little rituals of weakness, small acts of surrender, tiny betrayals of your potential, and you call it living. You call it being normal. You call it getting by. But what you're really doing is dying in slow motion. Death by 1,000 compromises. Death by comfort. Death by the path of least resistance. The weakest thing about you isn't your body. It's not your bank account. It's not even your circumstances. The weakest thing about you is what you do when nobody's watching. The habits you've normalized. The patterns you've accepted. The standards you've abandoned. You've built a life on the foundation of weakness, and you wonder why everything feels so fragile. Why everything crumbles when pressure comes. Why you can't rely on yourself when it matters most. Let me tell you something about weakness. It's not a sudden thing. You don't wake up one day and find yourself broken. Weakness is accumulated. It's built habit by habit, choice by choice, compromise by compromise. Every time you hit snooze, you're training weakness. Every time you scroll instead of work, you're practicing failure. Every time you break a promise to yourself, you're becoming someone you can't trust. And the worst part, you've convinced yourself these things don't matter, that they're small, insignificant, that everybody does them. They do matter. They matter more than anything else, because your habits are not separate from who you are. Your habits are who you are. You are the sum total of what you do repeatedly, not what you say, not what you intend, not what you wish, what you do. And if what you do is weak, then you are weak. No matter how much potential you have, no matter how smart you think you are, no matter what excuses you've prepared. The first habit that makes you weak is seeking comfort. You've made comfort your God, your compass, your primary decision-making criteria. Is it comfortable? Then you do it. Is it uncomfortable? Then you avoid it. You've organized your entire existence around the avoidance of discomfort. And in doing so, you've guaranteed your own weakness, because strength is only built in discomfort. Power only emerges under pressure. Character is only forged in the fire of difficulty. Every time you choose the comfortable path, you're choosing to stay weak. Every time you avoid the hard conversation, you're choosing cowardice. Every time you take the easy way out, you're building the habit of surrender. And the terrible truth is that life doesn't care about your comfort. Life will bring you discomfort whether you're ready or not. Pain whether you've prepared or not. Difficulty whether you've trained for it or not. And when that moment comes, all those comfortable choices will leave you defenseless, exposed, fragile. The second habit that makes you weak is constant distraction. You can't sit with yourself for 5 minutes. You can't be alone with your thoughts. You can't exist without stimulation, without entertainment, without something filling the void. So you scroll, you swipe, you binge, you consume. You let algorithms feed you an endless stream of nothing while your real life passes you by. While your actual potential rots unused. Distraction is not rest. It's not recovery. It's escape. And every moment you spend escaping is a moment you're not building, not growing, not becoming. You're running from yourself, and the person you're running from is the only person who can save you. You're avoiding the silence because in the silence, you hear the truth. You see what you've become. You feel the weight of wasted time. So you drown it out with noise, with content, with other people's lives, other people's drama, other people's success. Anything to avoid confronting your own emptiness. But that emptiness, it's not your enemy. It's your starting point. It's the space where transformation happens. It's the void from which power emerges. But you'll never access it because you're too busy drowning in digital sedation. Too busy being entertained. Too busy consuming instead of creating. Too busy watching other people live instead of building your own life. The third habit that makes you weak is breaking promises to yourself. You say you'll wake up early. You don't. You say you'll work out. You don't. You say you'll start that project. You don't. You say you'll change. You don't. And every time you break these promises, you're teaching yourself a lesson. The lesson is this: I am not reliable. I cannot be trusted. I will abandon myself when things get hard. This is the most dangerous form of betrayal. Not betrayal from others, betrayal from yourself. Because when others betray you, you can walk away. You can cut them off. You can protect yourself from them. But when you betray yourself, there's nowhere to go. You're stuck with a person you can't trust. A person who makes promises they won't keep. A person who talks big but acts small. A person who dreams but doesn't execute. That person is you. And you have to live with that every single day. Your relationship with yourself is the foundation of everything. If that relationship is built on broken promises, then everything else in your life will be unstable. Your confidence will be fake. Your motivation will be temporary. Your discipline will be non-existent. Because deep down, you know the truth. You know you're someone who quits. Someone who gives up. Someone who can't be counted on, and no amount of positive thinking or motivational videos will change that. Only action will, only keeping promises will, only doing what you said you would do, even when you don't feel like it, will rebuild that trust. The fourth habit that makes you weak is blaming everything and everyone else. Your parents, your past, your circumstances, your genetics, your education, your opportunities. Your luck. It's always something outside of you, something you can't control, something that explains why you're not where you want to be. And this habit, more than almost any other, guarantees your permanent weakness. Because when you blame external factors, you give away your power. You make yourself a victim. You turn yourself into someone who can't act, who can't change, who can't take responsibility. And victims are weak by definition. They have no agency, no control, no ability to shape their own reality. They're at the mercy of forces beyond them. And you've chosen to be that. Not because it's true, but because it's easier than accepting responsibility. Responsibility is heavy. It means that your life is your fault. Your results are your fault. Your weakness is your fault. Nobody wants to carry that weight. But that weight is also your power. Because if your weakness is your fault, then your strength can be too. If your failures are your responsibility, then your victories can be too. The moment you stop blaming and start owning is the moment you can actually change something. The fifth habit that makes you weak is seeking validation from others. You need approval. You need likes. You need recognition. You need people to tell you you're good enough, smart enough, worthy enough. You've outsourced your self-worth to people who don't know you, don't care about you, and don't have to live with the consequences of your choices. And you've made your emotional state dependent on their opinions. This is weakness in its purest form, because it means you're controllable, manipulable, easily influenced. Your emotions, your confidence, your sense of self, all of it rises and falls based on what others think. When they approve, you feel good. When they criticize, you crumble. You're not standing on your own foundation. You're standing on quicksand made of other people's opinions. And that foundation will always shift, always change, always fail you. Strength comes from internal validation, from knowing who you are regardless of what others say, from having standards that exist independent of social approval, from being able to walk alone if necessary, to be misunderstood if necessary, to be criticized if necessary, because your path is yours, not theirs, and their opinion of your path is irrelevant compared to whether you're actually walking it. The sixth habit that makes you weak is instant gratification. You want everything now, results now, success now, pleasure now, relief now. You can't delay, you can't wait, you can't invest time and effort into something that won't pay off immediately. So you take the quick hit. the fast reward, the immediate satisfaction. And in doing so, you sacrifice everything that actually matters for things that don't. You trade your future for your present, your potential for your comfort, your dreams for your distractions, because the future is abstract and the present is concrete. The future is uncertain and the present is guaranteed. So you take what's in front of you and abandon what could be. And years pass, and you look around and realize that all those small choices to grab immediate pleasure have added up to a life of nothing. A life where you never built anything that lasts, never created anything of value, never became anyone worth becoming. Delayed gratification is not about suffering. It's about power. It's about controlling your impulses instead of being controlled by them. It's about making choices based on who you want to become, not based on how you feel right now. Because feelings change, moods shift, impulses fade. But the person you're building through your choices, that person is permanent. That person is what you'll have to live with. And if you build that person through instant gratification, you'll build someone weak, someone impulsive, someone who can't control themselves, someone who will always be at the mercy of their cravings. The seventh habit that makes you weak is complaining. You talk about your problems constantly. You rehearse your struggles. You broadcast your difficulties. You make your pain your identity. And you think this is processing. You think this is healthy expression. But what you're actually doing is reinforcing your weakness. You're training your mind to focus on what's wrong, to see obstacles instead of opportunities, to feel victimized instead of empowered. Every time you complain, you're telling yourself a story. The story is that things are bad and you're powerless to change them. That story becomes your reality, not because it's true, but because you've repeated it so many times that your brain accepts it as fact. Your complaints become your prison. Your words become your chains. And the more you talk about how hard everything is, the harder everything becomes. Because you're not looking for solutions. You're looking for sympathy. You're not trying to overcome. You're trying to be understood in your struggle. But understanding doesn't build strength. Sympathy doesn't create power. Only action does. Only silence and work do. The strong don't complain because they know complaints waste energy. Energy that could be used to actually solve the problem. To actually change the situation. To actually become someone who can handle difficulty without falling apart. The eighth habit that makes you weak is surrounding yourself with weakness. You hang around people who have low standards, who make excuses, who settle, who complain, who gossip, who waste time. And you tell yourself it doesn't matter, that you're different, that you won't be influenced. But you're lying to yourself. You are the average of the people you spend time with. Their standards become your standards. Their habits become your habits. Their mindset becomes your mindset. If everyone around you is weak, you will be weak. Not because you want to be, but because that's what's normalized. That's what's acceptable in your environment. When everyone sleeps in, sleeping in becomes normal. When everyone wastes time, wasting time becomes normal. When everyone quits, quitting becomes normal. You lose perspective on what's actually possible because you're surrounded by people who've already given up. This is why the strong often walk alone. Not because they're antisocial, not because they think they're better, but because they refuse to have their standards lowered by people who've accepted mediocrity. They refuse to let weak people make them weaker. They protect their environment like they protect their mind, because they understand that you cannot become strong in an environment that celebrates weakness. You cannot rise when everyone around you is committed to staying down. The ninth habit that makes you weak is avoiding pain. Physical pain, emotional pain, mental pain, all of it. You've organized your life to minimize pain at all costs, and in doing so, You've minimized your growth at all costs, because pain is not your enemy. Pain is your teacher. Pain is the signal that you're pushing beyond your current limits, that you're expanding, that you're growing. When you avoid pain, you avoid growth. When you run from discomfort, you run from transformation. The strongest people you know have the highest pain tolerance, not because they're masochists, but because they've learned that pain is temporary and growth is permanent. They've learned that the pain of discipline is nothing compared to the pain of regret, that the discomfort of hard work is nothing compared to the discomfort of wasted potential. So they don't avoid pain, they move toward it. They seek it out, they use it as fuel. But you take the painkiller, you numb yourself, you distract yourself, you do anything to avoid feeling what needs to be felt. And in the process, you stay exactly where you are, stuck, stagnant, weak. Because transformation requires pain, rebirth requires death. Becoming strong requires breaking what's weak. And if you're not willing to feel that breaking, you'll never become what you could be. The 10th habit that makes you weak is living without purpose. You drift, you react. You respond to whatever comes your way without any clear direction. You don't have a mission. You don't have a vision. You don't have something you're building toward that's bigger than your comfort, bigger than your feelings, bigger than your circumstances. So you fill your days with whatever's in front of you, whatever's easy, whatever's available, and you call that a life. But a life without purpose is not a life. It's existence. It's survival. It's killing time until time kills you. And that kind of existence breeds weakness. Because without purpose, you have no reason to be disciplined, no reason to sacrifice, no reason to push through pain, no reason to become more than you currently are. Purpose is what makes suffering meaningful. Purpose is what turns pain into progress. Purpose is what transforms ordinary people into forces of nature. When you have purpose, comfort becomes irrelevant. Approval becomes irrelevant. Difficulty becomes irrelevant. Because you're moving towards something that matters more than all of those things combined. You're building something, creating something, becoming something. And that process requires every ounce of strength you can develop. So you develop it, not because it's comfortable, but because it's necessary. The 11th habit that makes you weak is inconsistency. You start strong. You're motivated. You're committed. You're going to change everything. For 3 days, maybe a week. Then life happens. You get busy. You get tired. You get distracted. And you stop. You tell yourself you'll start again tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, but you never do. Or if you do, you stop again. The cycle repeats endlessly. Start, stop. And you wonder why you never make progress. Consistency is everything, not intensity, not motivation, not inspiration. Consistency. Showing up when you don't feel like it. Doing the work when it's hard. Keeping your promises when it's inconvenient. That's what builds strength. That's what creates results. That's what transforms your life. But you don't have consistency. You have bursts, spurts. Temporary efforts followed by long periods of nothing. And that pattern guarantees you'll stay weak. Because strength is built slowly, through repeated action, through sustained effort, through daily commitment. You think you need motivation to be consistent. You don't. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings are unreliable. They come and go. They rise and fall. They're strong one day and gone the next. If you wait for motivation, you'll wait forever. What you need is discipline. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. Discipline doesn't wait for the perfect moment. Discipline does what needs to be done regardless of circumstance, regardless of mood, regardless of obstacle. And discipline is built through action, not thought. Through doing, not planning. Through repetition, not intention. The 12th habit that makes you weak is lying to yourself. You lie about your effort. You lie about your results. You lie about your commitment. You tell yourself you're doing your best when you're not even close. You tell yourself you're trying when you're barely starting. You tell yourself tomorrow will be different when you know it won't be. These lies feel protective. They feel like mercy, like you're being kind to yourself, but you're not being kind. You're being weak. Self-deception is the most dangerous form of weakness because it prevents all growth. You cannot fix what you won't acknowledge. You cannot improve what you won't measure honestly. You cannot transform what you're lying to yourself about. The truth might hurt. It might be uncomfortable. It might shatter the image you have of yourself. But the truth is also the only path forward, the only foundation for real change, the only starting point for actual strength. Strong people tell themselves the truth, brutally, completely, without sugar, coating, or excuses. They look at their failures directly. They acknowledge their weaknesses clearly. They accept responsibility fully. And from that place of radical honesty, they build, they improve, they transform. Because they're working with reality, not fantasy, with truth, not lies, with what is, not what they wish was. The 13th habit that makes you weak is needing things to be easy. You want the shortcut, the hack, the secret, the quick method that bypasses all the hard work. You want results without effort, success without struggle, transformation without pain. And this mindset guarantees your failure. Because nothing worth having comes easy. Nothing valuable comes quick. Nothing meaningful comes without cost. The path to strength is long and hard and lonely. It requires years of work that nobody sees. Thousands of repetitions that nobody celebrates. Countless moments of choosing difficulty over comfort when nobody's watching. There is no shortcut to this, no way around it, no method that makes it easy. And the moment you accept that, the moment you stop looking for the easy way and commit to the hard way, is the moment you actually start building real strength. Easy makes you soft. Challenge makes you hard. Convenience makes you fragile. Difficulty makes you unbreakable. You cannot become strong by doing what's easy. You become strong by doing what's hard, repeatedly, until hard becomes your normal, until challenge becomes your baseline, until difficulty is just another day. The 14th habit that makes you weak is quitting when things get hard. You start something. It's exciting. It's new. It's full of possibility. Then reality hits. It's harder than you thought. It takes longer than you expected. The results aren't coming as fast as you wanted. So you quit. You tell yourself it wasn't right for you, that you'll find something better, something easier, something that works faster. But you won't, because the pattern is the problem, not the path. Everything worth doing gets hard. Every goal worth achieving requires pushing through the moment when you want to quit. That moment is the test. That moment is where the weak separate from the strong. The weak quit. They find a reason. They make an excuse. They convince themselves it's logical, but it's not logical. It's weakness. It's the inability to persist when persistence is required. It's the lack of mental toughness to continue when continuing is uncomfortable. The strong don't quit when things get hard. They lean in. They double down. They understand that difficulty is not a stop sign. It's a filter. It's life's way of separating those who really want it from those who just kind of want it. And they refuse to be filtered out. They refuse to be counted among the quitters. So they stay, they persist, they endure. And eventually, they break through. Not because they're special, but because they didn't quit when everyone else did. The 15th habit that makes you weak is waiting. Waiting for the right time. Waiting for perfect conditions. Waiting until you're ready. Waiting until you have more knowledge, more resources, more support. Waiting is disguised as prudence, as wisdom, as careful planning. But it's not. It's fear. It's hesitation. It's the inability to act in the face of uncertainty. And it keeps you weak because action builds strength, not waiting. Doing builds confidence. not planning. Starting builds momentum, not preparing. The right time doesn't exist. Perfect conditions don't exist. Complete readiness doesn't exist. These are fantasies you use to justify inaction, to stay comfortable, to avoid risk, to protect yourself from failure. But in protecting yourself from failure, you're guaranteeing it. Because not starting is itself failure. Not trying is itself defeat. Waiting forever is the same as quitting, just slower and with more excuses. You need to start now. Imperfect, unprepared, uncertain. Start anyway. Because starting teaches you things that waiting never will. Doing reveals truths that planning never can. Action creates possibilities that hesitation destroys. The strong understand this. They don't wait for perfect. They start with whatever they have and figure it out along the way. They build the plane while flying it. They learn by doing, not by endless preparation. Now here's what you do. Here's how you break these habits. Here's how you stop being weak and start building real strength. First, you acknowledge the truth. Look at yourself honestly. Look at your habits. Look at your patterns. Look at what you actually do, not what you say you do or intend to do. See the weakness clearly. Name it, own it. This is not about shame. This is about clarity. You cannot change what you cannot see. Second, you choose one habit to break. Not all of them. Not 15 at once. 1. Pick the habit that's causing you the most damage, the one that's costing you the most, the one that, if you broke it, would change everything else. Maybe it's seeking comfort. Maybe it's constant distraction. Maybe it's breaking promises to yourself. Whatever it is, identify it clearly and commit to breaking it. Third, you replace it. You don't just stop a bad habit, you install a new one. If you're breaking the habit of seeking comfort, you install the habit of seeking challenge. If you're breaking the habit of distraction, you install the habit of focus. If you're breaking the habit of lying to yourself, you install the habit of radical honesty. Nature abhors a vacuum. If you remove a habit without replacing it, the old habit will return. But if you replace it with something stronger, something better, something that serves who you're becoming, then you've actually transformed. Fourth, you commit for 30 days. Not forever. Not for your whole life. Just 30 days. 30 days of no compromise. 30 days of perfect execution. 30 days of doing what you said you'd do every single day without exception. This creates proof. Proof that you can do hard things. Proof that you can keep promises to yourself. Proof that you're not who you used to be. And that proof becomes the foundation for everything else. Fifth, you document it. Write it down. Track it. Measure it. Create external accountability for internal commitment. Every day you keep your promise, you mark it. Every day you break your old pattern, you record it. This creates visibility. It creates momentum. It creates a chain of evidence that you're actually changing. And on the hard days, when you want to quit, you can look back at that chain and remember who you're becoming. Sixth, you eliminate escape routes. Remove the distractions. Delete the apps. Change your environment. Cut off the easy paths back to weakness. Make it harder to fail than to succeed. Make it more difficult to give in than to keep going. The weak rely on willpower. The strong design their environment so willpower isn't needed. They remove temptation instead of trying to resist it. They build systems that make strength the path of least resistance. Seventh, you find your pain. The pain that's greater than the pain of change. The pain of staying where you are. The pain of looking back in 10 years and realizing you wasted your potential. The pain of becoming someone you can't respect. That pain needs to be so clear, so vivid, so present that it outweighs every temporary discomfort. That pain becomes your fuel, your reminder, your reason to keep going when everything in you wants to stop. Eighth, you walk alone if necessary. You stop waiting for support that won't come. You stop expecting others to understand. You stop needing approval for the path you've chosen. You accept that growth is lonely. That transformation is isolating. That becoming strong means leaving behind people who want you to stay weak. Not because you're better than them, but because you refuse to let their limitations become yours. This is not about hating them. This is about loving yourself enough to protect your growth, to guard your transformation, to prioritize your becoming over their comfort. The strong walk alone, not because they're antisocial, but because they're committed. And commitment requires sacrifice. Sometimes that sacrifice is comfort. Sometimes it's approval. Sometimes it's relationships that no longer serve who you're becoming. Ninth, you embrace the suck. You stop waiting for it to get easier. You accept that it won't. That discipline is always hard. That growth is always uncomfortable. That strength always requires pain. And instead of resenting this, you embrace it. You lean into it. You make peace with the fact that the price of strength is paid daily, in small moments of choosing hard over easy, right over wrong, growth over comfort. The suck is not temporary. The suck is permanent. But your relationship to the suck can change. It can transform from something you endure to something you seek. From something you survive to something you leverage. From your enemy to your ally. Because once you understand that the suck is where strength lies, you stop avoiding it and start chasing it. 10th, you become relentless. Not aggressive, not angry. Relentless, steady, consistent, unstoppable. You show up every day. You do the work every day. You keep your promises every day. Not because you feel like it. Not because it's convenient. But because you've decided that weakness is no longer acceptable. That mediocrity is no longer an option. That the person you used to be is dead, and the person you're becoming requires different standards. Relentless means you don't negotiate with yourself. You don't have internal debates about whether to do what you committed to doing. You just do it, like breathing, like existing. It becomes non-negotiable. And when something becomes non-negotiable, it stops being hard. Not because it gets easier, but because you stop wasting energy resisting it. You stop creating internal conflict. You just execute. You are not permanently weak. Weakness is not your identity. It's your current state, a state created by habits that can be broken, by patterns that can be changed, by choices that can be different. You have the power to transform completely, to become unrecognizable to your former self, to build strength that nothing can break. But that transformation requires you to destroy who you are now, to kill the weak version, to burn it down completely and build something new from the ashes. This will be painful. This will be lonely. This will be harder than anything you've done, but it will also be worth it. Because on the other side of this transformation is a version of you that can't be broken, can't be manipulated, can't be controlled. A version that stands alone if necessary, that keeps promises, that finishes what they start, that does what they say, that becomes who they claim to be. That person is not a fantasy. That person is a possibility that becomes reality through daily choices, through broken habits, through new patterns, through relentless commitment to becoming. The question is not whether you can become that person. The question is whether you will, whether you'll pay the price, whether you'll endure the pain, whether you'll walk the path when it's dark and long and lonely. Your habits have made you weak. Now build habits that make you strong. Stop seeking comfort and start seeking challenge. Stop avoiding pain and start using it. Stop lying to yourself and start facing truth. Stop waiting for perfect and start moving with imperfect. Stop quitting when it's hard and start finishing what you start. Weakness is a choice. Strength is a choice. You've been choosing weakness. Now choose different. Not tomorrow.
Not next week, now.
This moment, this decision, this commitment, the old you ends here. The strong you begins now. No more excuses. No more waiting. No more weakness. You know what you need to do. You've always known. Stop pretending you don't. Stop acting like it's complicated. It's simple. It's just not easy. But you don't need easy anymore. You need transformation. And transformation is built in the fire of discipline, in the crucible of commitment, in the forge of relentless daily action. So burn, break, build, become. The weak version of you dies today.